Remove your shoes, oil your hands, touch them. The translator's voice cracks. 71 Japanese women POWs freeze. They know what this means. Every woman who survived capture knows what touch them means. September 1945. Philippines POW camp, 3 weeks after surrender. The American guards are standing there, pointing at wounded soldiers, at their bodies, at their exposed skin. But something's wrong. There are medical supplies beside the oils, bandages, gauze. Why bandages for this? 200 wounded Americans fill the medical tents. First week after Japan's surrender. 71 Japanese women captured during hospital evacuation. The math is clear, the purpose seems clearer. Until you see the supplies. Shunde mo sawarimasen. I'd rather die than touch them. Emiko, 26, captured nurse from Leyte, whispers this. She treated Japanese wounded for 3 years. Now they want her touching American bodies. Sergeant Thompson, 28, lies on the first cot, leg wound, infected, but not bleeding. His pants are rolled up, the skin is exposed, black around the edges. That's not a pleasure wound, that's gangrene. Noriko, 31, the translator, repeats the order. Her hands shake, holding the paper. Official orders, medical massage, lymphatic drainage, words that make no sense together. Massage means one thing in war. Every woman knows what it means. The oil sits in small bottles, medical labels, not perfumed, medicated, antiseptic smell, sharp, clinical, nothing like what comfort stations used, everything like what hospitals used. The contradiction breaks understanding. Thompson points to his leg, to the black flesh, to the infection spreading up. He's not leering, he's grimacing, pain, not pleasure, on his face. The wound smells like death, sweet, rotting. Familiar to anyone who's worked hospitals, Emiko sees other wounded, all exposed wounds, all infected, all requiring something. But what? Massage doesn't cure gangrene, touch doesn't heal infection, unless... The medical supplies make sense now. The bandages, the gauze, the antiseptic. This isn't what they thought. But what is it? Why order touching? Why use that word? Dr. Morrison enters. 38. Army Medical Corps, carrying charts. Medical charts, not pleasure schedules, treatment plans, for massage therapy, medical massage, lymphatic drainage massage, to save limbs. But when Emiko's hands touched the first wound, she realized this wasn't what she thought. Gangrene, black flesh, rotting while they wait for surgery. Emiko's fingers touch the edge of Thompson's wound. The skin is warm, too warm, infection spreading underneath. But her trained hands recognize something, fluid buildup, lymphatic blockage. The gangrene isn't from the wound alone, it's from circulation failure. 73% of wounded Americans have infections, untreated for weeks, jungle rot, gangrene, blood poisoning. Without this massage technique, 50 amputations weekly. With it, circulation increases 40%, limbs saved, lives saved. Iriomassage, medical massage. Chieko, 23, youngest nurse, says this, examining Private Collins. 19, farm boy from Kansas, foot black with gangrene, scheduled for amputation tomorrow, unless circulation improves tonight. Dr. Morrison demonstrates the technique, not pleasure touch. Medical pressure, specific points, lymph nodes, drainage paths, pushing infection out through natural channels. Japanese military never taught this. Americans developed it. Pacific theater innovation. The women's hands learn quickly. Nurse training helps. Anatomy knowledge essential. This isn't random touching. It's precise, medical, purposeful, every stroke mapped, every pressure calculated, every movement draining poison from dying tissue. Collins screams when Chieko touches the right spot. Pus drains immediately, yellow, green, stinking, but draining. The black flesh pinks slightly, blood returning, circulation improving. The foot might survive. The boy might walk again. Why use POWs for medical work? The question hangs unasked. American nurses are few, overwhelmed, exhausted. These Japanese women have training, have skills, have hands that can save American limbs. The logic is medical, not malicious. Fumi, 29, surgical nurse from Mindanao, resists. Won't touch, can't touch. Enemy flesh, enemy wounds. But she watches Collins's foot change color, watches infection drain, watches medical miracle through massage. The antiseptic burns their hands. Necessary, constant cleaning between patients, between touches, between each drainage session. Professional, medical. Nothing like what they feared. Everything like what they trained for. Before war, before sides, before enemies existed. Morrison writes notes, documents each session, medical records, official, legal, protection for everyone. These aren't comfort women. They're medical practitioners. The distinction matters, will matter, must matter. But nobody told them that yet. Nobody explained the certificates coming, the training being documented, the payment being medical education, not shame money. They only know they're touching enemy bodies, saving enemy limbs. The Japanese military never taught them this technique, but someone had to. Lymphatic drainage, American medical technique, saving limbs Japan would amputate. Sergeant Willis, 33, medical instructor from Johns Hopkins, demonstrates on his own wounded arm the movement specific, proximal to distal, following lymph channels, pushing fluid toward nodes. Science, not intuition. This technique reduces infection mortality by 60%. Japan had 5% survival rate for similar wounds, 8 hours of training required, 40 hours for certification. The Americans are offering both, to enemies, to women who expected assault. Neis Oshieru? Why teach enemies? Fumi asks what everyone thinks. Why share medical knowledge with those you were killing yesterday? Why train those who might use it against you tomorrow? Willis explains through Noriko. Knowledge isn't political. Medicine isn't nationalist. Healing transcends borders. The technique will save lives, Japanese lives too. After occupation, after war, forever. Chieko practices on Collins, her hands finding lymph nodes, neck, armpits, groin, areas she'd never touch on enemies, areas requiring professional distance, medical objectivity, the transformation from woman to practitioner, from prisoner to student. The training is intensive, anatomy charts in English and Japanese, pressure points marked, drainage paths drawn, red ink for arteries, blue for veins, green for lymphatic system. The hidden circulation they never knew existed, hands moving in circles, always toward heart, always gentle but firm. The lymph nodes swell under pressure, good sign, system responding, drainage beginning, infection moving out instead of spreading in. Japanese military taught amputation for gangrene. Cut fast, cut high. Save the soldier, lose the limb. Practical, brutal, effective. But Americans preserve, maintain, restore. The philosophical difference visible in flesh. Emiko masters the technique fastest. Her medical training strong, her hands remember healing. The enemy uniform doesn't matter when tissue dies, the nationality irrelevant when infection spreads. Medicine is medicine. Willis provides textbooks, American medical texts, translated partially, pictures clear, techniques detailed, knowledge that would cost thousands in medical school, free to prisoners, to enemies, to anyone willing to learn. But some refuse. 3 women, won't touch, won't learn, won't compromise. They sit separate, watching others work, watching others learn, watching others earn something they don't understand yet. The skin changes color under trained hands, black to purple, purple to pink, pink to healthy. The progression visible, measurable, undeniable. Enemy technique, saving enemy limbs through enemy hands. But 3 women refused to touch American bodies until they saw what happened to those who did. Extra rations, medical training, certificates for touching enemy wounds. Lieutenant Foster, 41, camp administrator, stamps the first certificate, Emiko's name, in English and Japanese. Certified lymphatic drainage specialist, official seal, U.S. Army Medical Corps, valid anywhere American forces operate, $2 daily for certified POWs. Japanese nurses earned 50 cents. 90% chose to participate. 45 became certified within 6 weeks. The economics clear. Survival through skill. Dignity through documentation. Hokori Yori Ikiru. Living over pride. Ayame 20, youngest participant, says this accepting her certificate. Her family would disown her. But her family isn't here. Hunger is, opportunity is, choice is. The certificate feels crisp between fingers. Real paper, not propaganda, not promises, documentation, evidence, proof that touching was medical, professional, legitimate. The paper that might matter someday, somewhere, to someone. Extra rice steams in bowls, double portions for medical workers, protein added, vegetables included, the first full meals since capture, stomachs cramping from sudden nutrition, bodies remembering fullness. But it's not payment for pleasure. It's compensation for medical work, the distinction written clearly, documented officially, witnessed by officers. The protection of paperwork, the shield of certification, the armor of legitimacy. Foster explains through Noriko, these certificates transfer to civilian life, to occupation hospitals, to American medical facilities, to futures beyond camps, beyond war, beyond shame. The 3 refusing women watch others eat, watch others learn, watch others earn. Their pride costs rice, costs protein, costs future, but maintains something. Honor, ignorance. The line blurs. Chieko counts her certificates. 7 now, different techniques, wound drainage, infection control, circulation improvement. Each one signed, stamped, official. Her medical education expanding through enemy teaching. Morrison adds names to lists, employment lists, occupation positions, hospitals needing these skills, the pipeline from prisoner to professional, from enemy to employee, the transformation documented step by step. But the women don't know yet, don't know families will reject them, don't know Japan will shame them, don't know these certificates will become visa applications, become new identities, become survival itself. The payment isn't money, it's documentation, it's education, it's proof they were medical professionals, not comfort women. The distinction that will matter when judgment comes, when letters arrive, when choices narrow. Then Japanese male POWs arrived and saw their women touching Americans. Yanfu, comfort women. Captain Yamada spits at Emiko. The word cuts through the medical tent. Every Japanese woman freezes. Every American tenses. Yamada, 36, captured with 2,000 officers yesterday, still wearing rank insignia, still believing in authority. 2,000 Japanese male POWs arrived this week. 0 allowed near medical tents after this moment. Separation enforced immediately. Colonel Roberts, 43, personally ensures it. The women chose medicine. Men chose rage. Yogoreta Onna, defiled women. Yamada declares this watching them work, watching them heal, watching them save American limbs. To him, touching enemies equals prostitution. Medical massage equals comfort service. Healing equals betrayal. The desperate shortage of medical personnel, that's why they needed POWs. American nurses, 12. Wounded Americans, 300 daily. Japanese nurses, 71. The math forced the choice. Use enemies or lose limbs. Robert steps between Yamada and the women. Physical barrier, legal protection. Geneva Convention covers medical personnel, even enemy. Medical workers, even women touching wounds. The law, clearer than honor. But damage is done. Every woman hears the accusation, Ianfu, comfort women. The label that destroys, that follows, that marks forever, even with certificates, even with medical proof, even with saved lives. Emiko continues working, hands steady on Thompson's improving leg, the gangrene retreating, the flesh pinking, the limb surviving. Her work speaks louder than Yamada's spit. Her certificates answer his accusations. Yamada sees the certificates, sees the American stamps, sees the collaboration documented. His rage increases. These women chose enemy medicine over Japanese honor, chose survival over suicide, chose future over past. The spit hits ground where women save lives, where healing happens, where medicine transcends nationality, but spit carries weight, carries judgment, carries the verdict of Japanese men who expected women to die rather than heal enemies. Some women stop working, hands trembling, honor questioned, identity shattered, the work suddenly shameful, the touching suddenly dirty, the healing suddenly wrong. Yamada's words poisoning what Morrison's teaching cleaned. Others continue, defiant, desperate, decided. They've seen limbs saved, seen infection drain, seen medical miracles. Yamada offers only shame. Americans offer education, certificates, futures. The choice is mathematical. Guards remove Yamada, physically, roughly. His curses echoing, threats of post-war judgment, promises of retribution. The women know he's right. Japan will judge. Families will condemn. But tonight, wounds need draining. The women made a choice that would haunt them forever. They kept working. Emiko massages the soldier who killed her brother. She knows his unit patches, 3rd Marine Division, Leyte Gulf, where her brother died. Thompson wears the same patch, the same unit, maybe the same battle, maybe the same bullet. Her hands work anyway, professional, steady, healing. 31 women recognized unit patches. 28 continued treatment, saved 200 limbs in 3 months. The mathematics of forgiveness, the accounting of moving forward, the choice between healing and hatred. Isha no Kokoro. Heart of a healer. Midori, 27, says this treating Marines from Okinawa, where her family died, where her city burned, where everything ended, but her hands don't shake. The training holds. Thompson doesn't know Emiko's brother wore the opposite uniform, doesn't know her tears aren't from exhaustion, doesn't know her professional distance hides personal devastation. He only knows his leg is healing. The unit patch feels rough under fingers, embroidered, proud, victory stitched in thread. Her brother had one too, different design, same pride, both meaningless now, both just cloth on dying flesh. Corporal Martinez, 22, from New Mexico, speaks broken Japanese. Arigato, thank you, to Midori, who drains infection from the foot that might have kicked down her door, that might have killed her neighbors, that might have ended her world. But breathing stays steady. Hands keep rhythm. The technique doesn't change for enemy or friend. Proximal to distal. Toward the heart. Always toward the heart, even when the heart breaks, even when the enemy breathes. Noriko treats a pilot, Navy, carrier-based, the kind that sank hospital ships, that strafed refugees, that turned sea red. But his infection is green, spreading, killing. Her hands push it out, save him. The work transcends emotion, must transcend or fail. Medical massage requires focus, presence, connection between healer and wounded, even when wounded means enemy, even when healer means traitor. Some women assign meaning, karma, balance, healing those who hurt, saving those who killed. The universe demanding strange payment, strange justice, strange peace through enemy flesh. Others work blank, automated, hands moving without hearts engaging, technical, mechanical, survival through dissociation, through professional distance, through pretending bodies have no history. But all continue, all choose healing, all pick medicine over memory, because Thompson's leg is pink now, because Martinez walks, because the pilot lives, because certificates accumulate, because future exists. 6 weeks later, the war ends, but their service doesn't. Occupation begins. American hospitals need massage therapists. They want the POWs. Major Hamilton, 39, medical recruiter, holds contracts. 38 positions immediately available. Salary 5 times Japanese standard. 1-year renewable contracts. Housing included. The economics of skill over nationalism. Former POWs are perfect candidates. Already trained, already certified, already proven. The irony absolute. Prisoners becoming professionals. Enemies becoming employees. The system inverting through paperwork. Teki no tam ni hataraku. Working for the enemy. Yukari, 24, says this signing her contract. But the enemy pays, the enemy houses, the enemy offers future. Japan offers only shame, only rejection, only starvation. The pen feels heavy in hands that touched enemy wounds, that drained enemy infection, that saved enemy limbs, now signing enemy contracts, becoming enemy employees, the transformation official, documented, irreversible. Hamilton explains benefits, medical insurance, pension plans, education opportunities, things Japan never offered women, things occupation makes possible, things that sound impossible but exist in writing. Emiko reads her contract carefully. Position: Senior Lymphatic Specialist. Location: Tokyo General under Occupation Authority. Salary: Substantial. Purpose: Treating Japanese civilians with American techniques. The circularity complete. Some women refuse. Pride over pay, honor over housing, death over employment with conquerors. But most sign. Most choose. Most leap into uncertain futures rather than certain starvation. Chieko signs immediately. No hesitation. Her 45 certificates speak. Her skills proven. Her future clear. American medicine. American pay. American protection from Japanese judgment. The contracts include education clauses, advanced training, American techniques, certification upgrades, the pipeline from basic massage to full therapy licensure, from enemy prisoner to medical professional. The path documented. Morrison writes recommendations, personal letters, for each woman, testifying to skill, to professionalism, to dedication despite circumstances. The letters that will matter for immigration, for citizenship, for escape. But they don't know yet. Don't know families will disown them. Don't know Japan will reject them. Don't know these contracts are lifelines, are tickets, are survival itself. The ink dries on contracts, futures seal, choices lock. From tomorrow, their occupation employees, medical professionals, traitors to some, survivors to others, healers regardless. Hamilton collects signed documents, 38 women choosing enemy employment, choosing medical futures, choosing American protection. The rest return to nothing, to nobody, to nowhere. Letters from home arrived with verdicts no one expected. Don't return. You touch them. You're dead to us. Noriko's father's letter. 3 sentences, ending everything, her childhood home, her family name, her existence in Japan, erased because she drained infection from enemy wounds, because she chose healing over death. 61% received rejection letters, 23 applied for American visas immediately, 15 married American patients they'd treated, the mathematics of rejection becoming transformation, of shame becoming new beginnings. Ie ni keru basho ga nai, no home to return to. Chieko's husband writes he's remarried, thought she was dead, prefers she stayed dead. New wife, new life, old wife, inconvenient. Especially one who touched Americans professionally. Lieutenant Shaw, 30, immigration officer, processes applications. Former medical POWs given priority, skills needed, certificates valid. The women Japan rejects, America accepts. The irony cuts both ways. Fumi tears her mother's letter, won't read past dishonored, won't see prostitute, won't acknowledge dead to us. The certificates mean nothing to families. The medical legitimacy irrelevant. Touch is touch. Enemy is enemy. But Emiko keeps everything, every certificate, every pay stub, every official document proving medical work, proving legitimacy, proving she was never comfort woman, never prostitute, never what they claim. The evidence mounting, waiting. For when? For whom? Shaw stamps visas, each stamp a choice. Stay where you're hated or go where you're needed. Stay where touching meant shame or go where it meant healing. The mathematics simple, the emotion complex. Letters arrive daily. Rejections, accusations, disownments, Japanese families ashamed of surviving. Daughters, of healing daughters, of professional daughters. The women who should have died with honor, now living with certificates. Ayame's parents demand she commit suicide, restore family honor, die correctly this time. But she's holding American visa application, holding California nursing school acceptance, holding future her parents can't imagine. The occupation offers what Japan denies: work, dignity, documentation, future. The women who saved American limbs now saving themselves through American paperwork, through enemy bureaucracy, through conquerors' clemency. Some return anyway, to fight, to prove, to show certificates, to demand recognition. They disappear into Japan's shame, into silence, into statistics nobody counts. Others board ships, to Philippines, to Hawaii, to mainland, carrying certificates, carrying skills, carrying shame transformed into opportunity, into education, into unexpected lives. One woman kept every certificate, every pay stub, every proof of medical work. 1965. Emiko opens a box, 40 certificates, proving it was medical, always medical. She's 46 now. California licensed massage therapist, clinic owner, treating Americans who don't know she once saved their father's limbs, who don't know these hands were enemy hands, who only know she heals. Thompson visits, veteran, aging. His leg still works. 20 years later. The leg Emiko saved. The gangrene she drained, the limb that should have been amputated, he brings flowers, every year, same day. Anniversary of healing. Tadashi Kata. We were right. Emiko thinks this showing certificates to Yamada's widow, who came to apologize, whose husband died bitter, wrong. While women he condemned built careers, built clinics, built bridges between former enemies. 12 POWs became licensed therapists in America, treated 10,000 patients over decades, earned professional recognition. The women Japan called prostitutes became America's medical professionals, the mathematics of vindication, the accounting of truth. Emiko's clinic employs 6, 3 Americans, 3 Japanese, all using lymphatic drainage, the technique that saved limbs, that destroyed honor, that created futures, now standard medical practice, now respectable, now essential. The certificates are yellowed, brittle, but legible. Every signature, every stamp, every date, the documentation that answered accusations, that proved legitimacy, that silenced doubt. Eventually, finally, absolutely. Morrison's son visits. Doctor now, trained partially by Emiko, the circle closing, enemy teaching enemy's child. Both healers, both professionals, both beyond the war that created their connection. Noriko writes from New York, professor of physical therapy, teaching at Columbia. The translator who explained lymphatic drainage, now teaching it to Americans. The progression from prisoner to professor, through certificates, through documentation, through proof. The clinic's walls display photographs, medical work, professional images, nothing hidden, nothing shameful, everything documented. The visual answer to 20 years of whispers, of accusations, of shame. Chieko sends letters from Chicago, married to Collins, the farm boy whose foot she saved, 3 children, all medical professionals. The infection she drained created a dynasty of healers, the enemy touch that became family foundation, hands still strong despite age, still healing, still proving daily that medical touch transcends nationality, transcends war, transcends shame. The certificates were just paper, the healing was real, is real, remains real. Thompson brings his granddaughter to learn from the woman who saved his leg. She saved my grandfather's leg. The girl bows to Emiko, deep, Japanese style. Thompson's granddaughter, 18, pre-med student, learning lymphatic drainage from the woman her grandfather called enemy, the woman who touched infected flesh, who chose healing over hatred, who proved medicine transcends war. 8 POWs' children became medical professionals. 3,000 patients treated over 20 years. 100% legitimate medical work. The statistics of vindication. The numbers that answer all accusations forever. Hiyashi wa Eien. Healing is eternal. Morrison's son, now 40, says this visiting Emiko. His father died knowing the women were professionals, knowing the work was medical, knowing history would prove them right. Noriko's daughter visits doctor, specialist, using techniques her mother learned as prisoner, as enemy, as woman accused of prostitution for saving limbs, the DNA of healing passing through generations. The medical oil bottle sits in museum display, small, brown, ordinary, label faded, but significant, symbol of transformation, of medicine transcending accusation, of healing outlasting shame, forever preserved, forever proving. Young hands learn from old hands, the technique identical, the pressure points unchanged, the drainage paths eternal. What saved Thompson's leg now saves new patients. What destroyed honor now creates it. Emiko teaches carefully, precisely, the way Willis taught her, the way enemies shared knowledge, the way medicine should be shared, without borders, without judgment, without remembering who was enemy. The clinic treats everyone, veterans who fought Japan, Japanese who survived camps, children who inherited neither guilt nor glory, just bodies needing healing, just lymphatic systems needing drainage, just humans needing touch. Yamada's widow brings tea, serves the woman her husband spit on, the woman who kept working, who kept healing, who kept proving that medical certificates meant more than military honor, that healing transcends hatred. Comment below, when dignity is destroyed by misunderstanding, can truth restore it decades later? The granddaughter's hands learn the rhythm, proximal to distal, toward the heart, always toward the heart. The same rhythm Emiko learned from enemies in camps under accusation. 3 words haunted them: massage their bodies. What followed, medical training, saved limbs, shattered honor, proved dignity isn't destroyed by others' assumptions, but by abandoning your truth. The hands that touched enemy wounds now teach enemy grandchildren, the circle complete, the vindication absolute, the healing eternal.